Hello again, it's me. It is the Sunday, the 19th of September. It's 13:25, so 1:30 in the afternoon. Bit of a later start today, a lot of mucking about with buses. I mean it's nearer, so I had less time to drive. I got up a bit later, it's nice, but just a lot of mucking about and changing of buses in Weymouth to get back here from where my car is, which is basically down in the far distance where that rise comes up out of the sea. So this is Chesil Beach, looking along it from the western end, and given that it is all pretty much 8 miles of this, and I had a bit of a sample of that last time, I'm quite glad that the path actually goes inland and follows the inland side of the big formed lagoon. So we'll be doing that. So I need to get to try and find the trail at the end of this car park and pick it up and follow it around the base of that hill there. So that's the plan for today. I don't know, about 10 miles again. Relatively short, but then, it's getting on mid-September. The evenings are drawing in. Sunset's about, I don't know, 7:30ish now, I think. I could probably expect to be there by about 6. So there's enough daylight, certainly, but yeah. Oh, slow pan, yeah, you can see West Bay in the distance there, and Lyme Regis from way further beyond. All sorts of stuff well beyond that, which I've already forgotten about. That's why I take these videos mostly. Quite a large amount of people on this beach. It's not really a bucket and spade sand beach, it is this down to the seafront. But quite quiet compared to the madness I saw in Weymouth, where there was like an Ironman triathlon thing going on at the time. A load of streets were coned off, people running along, lots of people lining the sides and clapping. There's me stumbling through it as gormless as ever. Yeah, it's a lovely day. Coincidental, of course, I was going to hike whatever the weather was today. I'm a weekend hiker now, but I'm not a fair weather one. I've got an anorak, I'm not averse to rain, but I think we're getting some nice late summer, stable September conditions at the moment, which is nice. This is about the sort of time of year I'd have been doing my attempt on the last one, week 8 proper, with the big backpack and wild camping and everything, about this kind of time of year. But we've seen some occasional heavy rain here and there this last week or two, so I don't know, maybe this is the better way. My holiday, my rules. Right, I need to get on because it's already like 1:30 in the afternoon. Not too much to go really. That big risen headland over the end there is Portland. And I'm sort of aiming for just before that, a place called Ferry Bridge, where Portland connects to the land, the mainland. So I shall talk to you some more once we get going. Flock of pheasants there, enjoying the calm, just chilling and relaxing before the season gets going in earnest. Beautiful plumage. Have a slow pan. Majestic rolling countryside here. Late summer colours, early autumn. All sort of tawny yellows and yellow greens. Harvested but not ploughed mostly around these fields, around this area. This is mostly grazing land anyway. So yes, as you can see, we're up and off of the Chesil Beach itself. Lagoon starts there. And we've got 3/4 of a mile to the Swannery. I shall reconnoitre when I get there. Let you see what some swans if I can. I mean, people have seen swans before, they're not that rare. But yeah, it's a big local attraction apparently. Good old windswept tree there. And look at that, pillbox. Very much into World War II analia all along this coast. I mean, it's about 100 miles to France from here if you head just south. So I don't think this was really ever thought to be the business end of any kind of Axis invasion during the 30s to 40s, but can't be too careful, I suppose. Again, more of a sort of lookout than an actual defensive position. Someone in there would have a fast horse or radio or something. Ugh. Yeah, so yeah, a bit more hills to do because we've gone the inland route instead of along that beach. I would take this hill any day over that beach. My God, they made me do about 100 metres of it just leaving the car park, and yeah, just as thigh ravaging as it was last time. So yeah, I'd rather go up this hill. Sort of cool ruined church on top of this hill as well. I may break my normal rule of unnecessary altitude, deviate from the path and have a quick look. Well, there's a lot of competition in this business now. Just this week I saw something else on Channel 5. It was Robson of Robson and Jerome doing Hadrian's Wall path. I guess all these celebs during lockdown were out doing hiking programmes, and they're only all just coming out of post-production and stuff now and appearing on telly. So, looking for, I don't know, Nick Knowles does bloody Offers Dyke Path or something, but Carol Vorderman stalks the Yorkshire Pennines Way. I don't know. I think it's great. Hiking for the masses. More people hiking on telly and everything. It's great. Do what I do. Get out here. Join me. It's great. Most of the time. The latest episode of the Michael Portillo South West Coast Path thing was Helford Passage, the Helford River, all that bit, part between Lizard and Parr. Again, he was just doing one memorable and interesting day, looking into things in more detail than I did. He went across a beach, was it Porthallow or somewhere around there, where they'd actually erected a monument of sorts, which showed you the halfway point of the South West Coast Path, and I really don't remember that being there when I went through. You can check my videos if you like, but I don't remember it. So they must have put that up since I'd been there last, which admittedly was about 3 or 4 years ago now. I lose track at the time. Don't know how long this has taken me. I'm going to have to go and look it all up before I hit the end so I know, so I've got some context. Right, up and Adam. I'll probably report to you from the top of a big hill with a church on it or something, because, you know, public service remit and all that. I'm alright. Yeah, it's one completely unnecessary hill later. There it is. Don't worry, we'll go a bit closer and have a wander around in a minute. Mind you, if experience has taught me anything, is that if I can climb the tall end, I can unlock all the activities in this area. So that's Abbotsbury, still. Small village. All yellow stone, local rock, I imagine. So something stone, limestone maybe? Sandstone, not sandstone, probably limestone. Not quite sure what the difference is. Something sedimentary, I'm sure. It's a very picture postcard driving through on the bus. I got off on a stop just the other side of that hill, then went down the hill, around the hill, and back up the hill. But respiratory aside, very much worth it. Let's do a slow pan. So that's pretty much the start of Chesil Beach proper, where the inland lagoon begins. It continues 8 miles that way of thigh-destroying trudging gravel, with nothing at all till the other end. No stops, no shade, no drink, nothing. I'm taking the inland route, which is what the South West Coast Path does as well, because that's the deal, that's the rules, which I believe snakes its way around this green inner boundary of that lakeshore. There's a bit of inland detouring as well. You have to keep an eye out for signs, because it doesn't strictly follow the water's edge all the way. Somewhere down there is a swannery, isn't it? I don't know. Big spiralling flocks of swans. They don't really do that, do they? Yeah, it's a strange landscape. I'm just going to slowly pan while I waffle. I think a lot of it, these weird sort of, it's quite steep, pronounced hills with little valleys. Almost a little bit Welsh in character, perhaps. It's all green grassland, not much crop farming, arable farming. There's a bit over there, some ploughed stuff, slightly flat there, but generally pastures. Yeah. Very odd landscape, different again from, like, you know, East Devon with all the red crumbly cliffs. This is more sweeping slowly into the sea type stuff. I think it's Portland. Well, you can see the island of Portland itself there. That's going to be the whole of next time's trip, tomorrow, or, you know, next week, or in a fortnight's time, depending on how you're consuming this. But yeah, that there is where all the Portland stone comes from, which I think is limestone. I don't know. It's not granite, is it? No, not granite. Probably not marble. A lot of that used to reconstruct Christopher Wren's London after the Great Fire in 1666. Central, the Bank of England and all the big white stone buildings in the centre of London, all the old sort of wedding cake style stuff. Most of it was quarried from there. The quarries themselves inland, but you can see because it sticks out, it resists the sea. It's the survivor. This massive sweeping bay has been just slowly pushed back and back over the tens of thousands of years, and the same on the other side. The Portland remains, different geology, and it makes a natural sort of tide break, sort of breaks up the currents, the shore, preserves a sort of softer landscape inland around it, I suppose. I don't know, there's an internet out there, you can look up more about geology and things. Probably the Wikipedia article about Portland itself will tell you something about its geological significance on the area. But yeah, suddenly we have this sort of, I don't know, smoother, softer landscape. It's still not, the massive fields and rolling prairies of Salisbury Plain and the Hampshire that I know. Still, I mean, it's hard to find anywhere in this country that's like Iowa. I suppose Norfolk, maybe. Norfolk's renowned for being quite flat, Lincolnshire. That's all over on the far east coast. Nothing to do with this coast path. I spotted some things. There's it looks like a bird hide down there. A little box on the end there. I think that's somewhere where people with binoculars camoed up can sit and watch birds. I mean, this whole lagoon is I don't know if it's a special scientific interest thing or an RNIB thing, but it definitely is a fantastic habitat for particular types of bird all the way along. Sheltered from the actual sea. You see how calm it is. That is a massive breakwater, essentially, Chesil Beach. Is a lagoon. I think it's fresh water at this end. It does empty out into the sea down at Portland on the end. I think the salinity wouldn't creep all the way up here. I don't know though. Maybe it sort of absorbs through the breakwater. But yes, lovely. Right, let's go and have a look at this building here. I won't bother trying to climb it. I haven't got the right outfit on. It's got roof and a window. It's sealed. Hello. Spooked a butterfly. Pretty sure it is a ruin, but I think it's a well-preserved one against the elements. A tower on the top there. Also glazed window. Maybe that's just stabilisation. I don't imagine it sees regular services. Cool. It doesn't look like an original roof. Some sort of raised altar at this end, maybe. Thing for putting candles and statues and things in. Little notes. My hamster to be safe and healthy. Yeah. Can't go up the tower. Probably just as well. Yeah. So a ruin, but a well-preserved and maintained one. So you put the windows on, seal the roof up, just to preserve it against the elements, which there would be a fair amount of up on this hill. Yeah. Don't know, no context. I think there was a sign on the other side, but you'll have to go and look it up yourselves. Probably on Wikipedia as well. Most things are. Cool, right, I need to get back down to the other side of those trees and back onto the path. Bench of the dead. For Daff, quotes, never lose height, close quotes. Yes, I can attest to that. I think they probably meant it more spiritually than I did. I meant it literally. Never go down a hill because you're going to have to climb up again. Maybe it's more of an inspirational spiritual thing than that. There's a maze, I think. Certainly an interesting hedgework. If that's a maze in the traditional sense, or just a nice piece of garden design. Splendid. Is that the Swannery down there? There's a big old car park down there as well. Lots of people walking around down there, so maybe that's the visitor-y bit. Maybe the Swannery is in there. I don't know. Oh, we'll find out. The path's going to go down and around there somewhere. Still not back on the path yet, it's down this next hill. Yeah, I just noticed, if you really zoom in, I don't know if you can do this as well as I can, camera. Actually, it's quite satisfying that my eyes are capable of finer discrimination than the 10 times zoom on the camera. No, it's too fuzzy, it's not focusing. I'll make it manually focus on a thing. I'm trying to hold it. Tapping in things. No, okay. You'll have to, we'll try again when we get a bit nearer, but I think I can see the lighthouse on the end of Portland Bill there. Little tiny sticky uppy thing on the very end, which we will definitely be looking at. Not today, but probably in tomorrow. Tomorrow, finger quotes. The next day's trek, we'll be going around that big old island and we'll look at the lighthouse close up, probably. Day and a half away then, really. But yeah, I think I can just make it out, sticking up on the end. You have to take my word for it. Alright, let's carry on. I think I'm on the right track. Dawdling on purpose. Bit of a large party on the path ahead. Which way? Ought to turn the auto rotate off. So, yonder red figure there is the vanguard of a large party of walkers. I managed to power on and overtake just now. And of course now I'm locked in some sort of pride-fueled death grip spiral of light leapfrog overtaking. Which means I can't stop. Great. Anyway, that's probably the Swannery. There's a sign at the end of yonder road there from the car park. The path doesn't go down there, so nor do I. Can't need many swans then. Quite small. Mind you, I think only the Queen's allowed to eat the swans of Albion due to ancient statuette. So she's a little old lady, so she can't need more than one a week at most. So yeah. Large scale swan farming, probably not a goer in this country. Oh, those clouds looking rather grey. It's all staying inland low, prevailing's coming from that sort of direction, so I think we're pretty okay. Welcoming the shade really, now that I can't stop. Nice bit of wind up here as well. And glorious views. I think this is probably better than trudging along the beach itself. There's a bit of context surrounding hillsides and so on. Rustic fence crossing apparati, whatever. Hey. Splendid. Right, I probably have to keep going until I die now. I'll find some cafe I can go and hide in. Give them a really long head start. I think I'm still on the coast path. I mean, it looks like the coast path, sort of cliff top with a field, but then the sea is quite far out that way. So I don't know. I suppose it's technically a coast path. It's just a question of how far away from the shore the actual path is. I mean, on that basis, every path in the country is a coast path as well, really. Probably I'm going to turn seaward at some point, but just look for acorns. Bet Michael Portillo doesn't have this problem. Oh, what else? I saw one of the guys from Line of Duty, don't know, some cop drama thing. He was doing the coast of Ireland, although he did seem to be doing most of that in taxis, which I can't say I blame, because he looked quite old and Ireland circumferentially is quite big. It's not going to fit into 6 cosy episodes in the 8 o'clock slot on a marginal Freeview channel. Still being followed. Keep moving. Might have to dive off the side and go all ghost recon in a minute. This is unusual. I'll deviate and have a look. I think they're growing bamboo commercially, which is unusual. I mean, you often see it out of control in the far ends of large gardens, but certainly not corn. Things like pampas grass. Don't know, not sure what that is. Thinking bamboo, but quite young. I've got thick trunks, but then I suppose, I don't know, I just don't know what that is. Interesting. I'm in front again. Not a race. Just I had my pace, you know. Yeah, so we're heading south again by the looks of it. Over some quite bumpy ground, as you can see. It's clouded over a fair bit, which is good actually. I like the shade. It's getting a bit muggier though. I think it probably will rain before some point today. Still got all the waterproofs, good to go. Oh, Danny Dyer's Wayfarer's Way. Yeah, I can see it now. It's just walking, you muppet. Long straight bit, love it. Interesting, this has been sown already and it's growing. This must have been quite early in the season. Harvested early June. Something already starting to come up. Some sort of winter barley, I don't know. I don't know the difference between spring and winter barley. I think they're the same thing, but they're just planted at different times and harvested at different times. I'm not sure. Terrible guide, as usual. Getting there. We're going over and up, I think. It's lovely here, though. It's all pasture grass, and of course, it's all been mown and baled and done for hay and so on, and leaving this sort of well-maintained lawn-like look to the place. Splendid. Yeah. This all looks very Hampshire. I lost my little spits of rain at the moment, but I'm not worried at the moment. If it carries on and passes over, that's fine. Don't have to get the anorak on as well. That'll do me in going at this pace. I'm still being chased. Could stop and let them go past, but I've just been doing my times, and it's what, 15:20 now, and I've still got about 8 miles to go. So assuming 2 miles an hour, which is not unreasonable, if I keep it up, don't dawdle too long, then I could probably be there for about 7 o'clock. So when it starts to get dark, which would be good. We might see a sunset by the end of today, but also I worry about the car park being locked. So perhaps having these pace setters behind me is not a bad thing. There's more of it over there, I think. Let's zoom. I don't think that was bamboo. Oh, that might be maize. No, I can't imagine why anyone would grow bamboo. I think it might be sugar cane, thinking about what I saw back there. But I didn't think that grew in this country. Unless there's some weird microclimate down here that I don't know about. Well, maybe this is just climate change for you. We'll be going pineapples all the way up to Yorkshire before long. Alright, let's keep moving. I think I'm going down there. It does look like we're snaking our way back towards a rendezvous with the water again, so something to look forward to. I mean, this is nice contrast, nice difference. Saw a squirrel earlier, but he scampered away too quickly for me to photo or film. There's a grey one anyway, they're everywhere. Yeah, this is just like at home. Even the soil. It's gone, so it's lost that reddish tinge we've been seeing. It's gone back to a sort of more brownish clay-like substance and loam. Don't know. Clay's the red one, isn't it? Anyway. But yeah, look at that. Picturesque landscape. I see so many of these picturesque landscapes, but I'm surprised how subtly different each different stretch of the coast is. This is nothing like Cornwall, and quite distinct from Devon as well. Yeah, right, let's keep moving. Oh, this is nice. This is lovely. All these big trees bent over to form a kind of tunnel through which the coast path walks. I mean, it's very atypical coast path scenery, certainly, but I like it. I couldn't tell you what species these are. And is that ash beach? Hard to tell. But, yeah, well, that's probably quite easy to tell if you know. Yeah. All just bent over. Good sunlight on that side, I suppose. Prevailing wind must come from that direction normally. It's quite still at the moment though. Oh, that's nice. I can't see anyone following me either. Might be able to stop for a minute or two. Oh, that's only a good way of keeping pace. But, yeah, I do like to amble more. Well, I like to move at my own pace. That's the thing. I don't like people in front of me. I don't like people behind me either, really. You get that awkward overtaking thing, and then of course you need to build a massive lead before you can then stop yourself. Otherwise, you end up with this like embarrassed, apologetic grin as you go past each other for the 5th time in the same 2 hours. I should worry less about that kind of thing. Oh, I can hear a gate creaking. Yep. Keep moving. Actually, the next cafe or pub or something, or beach hut or ice cream thing I come across, I will stop for a good half hour and overtake and build a lead, because I'm wearing myself out doing this otherwise. But I'm not just going to sit in a hedge or by the side of the field and wait. That's a bit creepy. So yeah, here's to something ahead. Something herring, lesser herring, Leamington herring, I don't know. Some small village I'd never heard of before up ahead somewhere. You can just see the housetop over there. I don't know if it's big enough to warrant a pub or a cafe, but we'll see. Could do with a stop. I mean, it's not properly dark until 8 or so, so I'll be most of the way there by then, I think. I can risk it. But yeah, just being harried along by, well, I mean, they've not done anything threatening. They don't even know they're chasing me, really. It's all in my own mind, but you know what my mind's like. So yeah, let's try and find somewhere to feasibly sit for a rest without looking like I'm sitting for a rest. As soon as I stop recording, I turn a corner and boom, we are on the actual shoreline again. Back to being a coast path. And look, a bird watching spot where I could theoretically sit for half an hour. There we go. Press pause for more information. Good. Oh, there's another one here. I'll get that one for you as well. Different types of birds in Rodden Hive. There you go, press pause for more information. I mean, I would stop and have a look for some birds myself, but I'm being chased by people who don't know they're chasing me. So, better keep moving. It's nice though, incredibly calm and still here. This is a place I probably would want to come back to as a special trip, you know, just literally get a packed lunch and whatnot, spend 4 or 5 hours just sat on that bench with some binoculars. Have a go at this twitching thing. You know, once upon a time, Twitch wasn't an online video streaming service. It was what people did. They went out and twitched. They were twitchers. It's another name for bird watching. It's funny. All right, along this recently sown field, by the looks of it, sown and harrowed. Yeah, it's sprouting already. Could be weeds. There's no stopping the modern industrial agricultural complex. Land sitting idle is land not earning money. grow some beans in it every 4 years. That'd be all right. I'm hiding in a hedge. That's a nice peaceful hedge. 15 people have come through in the last 5 minutes or so. Just letting them all clear down the path a bit. If I give it 15 minutes or so and then dawdle a bit as I proceed. Because they seem to be going, that group seem to be going about the same kind of speed as me. So if I dawdle a bit, they'll gain ground. Unless I see them all sat drinking water and crouched in the hedge when I go around the corner. So yeah, still going. It's like a sort of island formed in the lagoon there, which I don't think we're going on. We're going to cut round through that valley on the left. A little stand of trees on there, pines, I think. It's a curious landscape, a strange place. Go on, clear off. So yeah, 6 miles to Ferry Bridge according to that sign there, which is where my car is. And it's 4 o'clock in the evening. Oh, hello. Extreme close up. Scale. Hey. Yeah. 4 o'clock in the evening at the moment. Afternoon, I suppose. It seems like evening. It's this weird cloud bank. It's sort of, the sun is quite far up above it, but since it blocks out the light and the light only comes in from lower on the horizon, my instincts tell me that it's really quite close to dusk. But I reckon I've got about 3.5 hours probably till sunset. So 6 miles in 3.5 hours is doable. I can't really afford to sit and, dawdle for extreme lengths of time, but I would quite like that party of, I don't know, there was like 30 to 50-year-old men. Not a lot of them have got the sticks, they've got all the gear, light packs, shorts, trainers, kind of feeling overdressed. I mean, I fit into that demographic, I understand that, yes. They're about as capable as me, probably a little bit more so. I am quite unfit at the moment these days. Generally a lot heavier than I'd like to be and not nearly as exercised as I'd like to be. So I think, these weekends I go hiking pretty much constitute my exercise at all at the moment. I keep telling myself it's all going to change when I move house, which is some weekend soon, because everything will change at that point. New route to go jogging on, that kind of thing. Walking to work routinely once I move, about a mile each way every day. So that'll be the basic 10,000 steps probably, or a large part of them, and then everything changes after that. But anyway, enough about that. I can hear more voices. It's quite popular around here. It's a lovely part of the world. It's a weird, strange sort of microclimated lagoon, flat farmland sort of region, all protected by Chesil Beach in the background. You can just sort of see it on the horizon there still. That is the big beach itself, the sandbar, still following it. Let's see, have I killed enough time there? No, let's get the map out then. I've just drunk the last of my water as well, which is a little bit concerning. Less of a problem in these parts of the world on this day trippy type of a situation, but it's still not a good position to be in. It's something to be avoided if you can. Don't run out of water. Right, so I'm coming up on somewhere called Moonfleet, which is a fantastic name. Wow, I think I just zeroed in exactly on where I am right now already. Here, I think. That little cross. FB, footbridge, probably. So yeah, Herbury, that sort of thing with the trees on over there. Just a little isolated, sort of almost an island. It's a Moonfleet Manor Hotel. Don't know. It's late on a Sunday, so I'm not really expecting much to be open, even if there is anything there at all. So once we get past there, there's a big long run across this. It's all really, it's flat, low shoreline stuff. There's very little hills all the way back. In fact, if I check the rest of the route back as a Eastfleet Farm caravan site, yeah, it all follows the shoreline basically all the way home. I think it's basically flat all the way back to the car now, which is in that car park there, P. There is a rifle range I'm going to have to cross, but it's only a small danger area, you know. I mean, apparently there's an enormous, terrifying one on around Lulworth, Kimmeridge sort of way beyond, way that way, which I don't have to worry about for a few days, a few weekends. But yeah, can't imagine anyone's firing at this time on a Sunday evening. But if they are, then we go around. We just divert inland and come back down instead. But we'll probably go around the outside, I imagine. Not much of a detour, even if there is any red flags flying. And then yeah, just following it all along. It doesn't look like there's a lot of stuff on the actual coast. I mean, there's a caravan site there, another campsite there, some sort of works or something. RE bridging hard. Yeah, not much really until I get back to the car, and then I can just, you know, go find a service station on the way home and tank up on drinks and snacks and what have you. But yeah, so there's about 6 miles to go. There to there, Ferry Bridge. Ferry Bridge technically is here. This is the Ferry Bridge. There's a bridge across an inlet which essentially separates Portland Island from Weymouth, which is all of this. But we'll see that when we see that. So yeah, I reckon I can be there by dark. I mean, that's essentially a large road with a pavement along it down to the car parks. I mean, I'm not going to get to... dismantled railway, I never knew. Things you see on the map. Not going to get into any real difficulty on this path after dark. I mean, I've got the torches, but, you know, as we saw when I tried that before, that didn't go that well. But it's not technically difficult. It's not up and down. There's no stones or big boulders on the path or anything like that. There's no dangerous cliffs. It's just following the edge of a field back to the car, basically. So I should be all right, even in the dusk, to be honest. But don't want to hang around too long. All right, so let's crack on. I mean, like I say, if I see a convenient ice cream van, then I'll jump on it like a thing being jumped on by something else that jumps on things. But there's not really much in the way of sort of public beachy type car parky type places along here until you get to basically this one here. And there's a cafe next to that one, but that's likely to be closed by the time I get there. So yeah, I'm not too worried about that. Yeah, so I shall just have to preserve my water by breathing in through my mouth and out through my nose or something. I don't know. Whatever works. Good. Right, well I think that waffling has given them a reasonable head start. And if I just don't pile it on a bit, go easy for a little way. My feet are starting to throb a bit, but that's okay, you know. They do that. Yeah, good. Right. It's up and away. More information. Ducks. Ferrybridge Island. There you go, see? Ferrybridge. Jurassic coastline, yeah, check. Dogs under control, check. Donkey Island. Donkeys from Weymouth Beach who used to graze in winter. Anyway, press pause for more information. Actually, I'm fascinated by that hut over there. See, I thought there was nothing on Chesil Beach. Chesil Beach, far away in time. But no, look. A hut. I don't know if anyone lives there, or that's just like a bird watching hide or something. See the occasional building out there on the inner edge of the beach, the Chesil Beach itself. Curious. And look, these. I've seen these everywhere as well. The Hardy Way. This is all hardy country, apparently. Driving to and fro in previous weekends, I've gone past a big hill that's sort of somewhat inland, can't see it from here, with an enormous stone monument on it. The Hardy Monument. This is hardy country, I suppose. So I think it's unfair. I think they were a double act, and I think Laurel contributed as much as Hardy, you know. But there you go. Maybe he was born here or something. Right, let's crack on. Losing daylight, or something. Moonfleet. 1/4. Ferry Bridge, 5 3/4. Right, chop chop. So calm. I'm speaking in a whisper and I don't know why. Occasional gulls just sat on the water, glassy calm. Not much wind. None really. Hear the whisper of the A road over there, B road maybe. Distant cars. Lovely. I mean, I could camp anywhere along here. I probably shouldn't, but lots of places that would work as a improvised late night pitch. Mind you, it's still only like 4:45. It's these clouds. It just sort of, because they block the direct sunlight, but they let it in low on the horizon, which makes it just seem like it's near sunset, but without the actual sun. So my body clock's all gone weird, my hiking body clock. I'm instinctually looking for places to put the tent. A little hut out on the strand there, on Chesil Beach itself. No red flag, no sound of explosions or gunfire. We're probably okay. If red flags are not flying, okay. Yeah, about the same distance either way really, so follow the path if I can, that's the rules. Oh, a bit of rain coming in actually as well. I might have to put the camera away briefly. Just hope I don't have to get the anorak out, that'll just overheat me totally. That's one of the nice things about switching to a Sunday only plan. I like to hit this kind of place when there's not much going on, no red flags. I mean, in general, I imagine being a soldier is a 9-to-5 job, generally. They may or may not work weekends, depends if there's a war on, I suppose, but yeah. I make sure it's late Sunday afternoon whenever I come across one of these places. It's very unlikely there's going to be a red flag flying, gunfire and shelling and such like, so that's good. I mean, in theory, if I'd have gone with the whole Sundays only plan from the start, I'd probably be done a year ago, or 2 years ago. Because your South West Coast Path Association website that I'd been using initially, their easy mode itinerary, breaks it down into 52 individual day stages grouped together into 8 one-week expeditions. Yeah, ranging from like 5 to 7 days depending. So exactly a year's worth of hiking really, if you do one every Sunday and don't take any Sundays off. Even if you take the occasional Sunday off, you'd still be done within 2 years. And I must be on my 5th year now, calendar wise. So, COVID didn't help, but yeah. There's the Hardy Monument I was talking about. Just on the horizon, on the skyline there. Just gives you some idea of how big it is. And the sort of distance of haze there. Yeah. They really love their pratfalling comedians out here. Little Sea campsite. Leisure park, whatever. Seems busy. I think there's a shop or something over there, but I'm only 2 miles from the end, so I might as well keep going. Cool. Another hill, hopefully the last of the day. But moments like this make it all worthwhile. Look at this. It's got the little Haven holiday park thing down there. Looks like they've got a bar and shop complex thing in the middle, but I've got too much time and not enough time and stuff. I'm in the zone now anyway, I'm trudging. So stop for no man, except in 2 miles where the car is. And look at this. So everything we've done today, you see right to the end of the Fleet Pool, or whatever it's called, the inland lagoon. Right out there and beyond. Probably just about make out the trees around the car park where I started. Can't quite see that chapel, I think it's just behind that hill there. And yeah, done all that today. Some of it at a speed slightly higher than I'd like. And now the sun's starting to drop below the cloud cover, which means we're going to be treated to 2 hours of glorious late afternoon, early evening golden light, which is, I may have mentioned on a couple of occasions, is my favourite time of the hiking day. Tired but happy, could really do with a drink. Should have brought 2 water bottles today instead of 1, but there you go. You never quite know. I mean, I hardly drank any of the water bottle from the previous trip, from the previous Sundays. So yeah, fantastic. And these clouds are all a bit who knows what. It's probably going to rain tonight, but at the moment I think the heat coming off the sea is just sort of keeping it all lifted a bit, or the land, or whichever. I don't know. So yeah, just going to maybe drop it down a notch and enjoy the next 2 miles coasting back to the car. Try and time it for sunset maybe, I don't know. It is pretty much bang on 1800 hours, 6 o'clock in the evening. Sunset's probably an hour and a half away as well. I mean, it's probably be just about right, 2 hours. I do about 2 miles an hour, so yeah. Well, let's keep moving then. Lovely. And look at that, cows and horses and things. Is that a donkey? Is that some horrific abomination, half cow, half horse? I don't know if that happens if you put them in the same field. Oh no, it's just a grey cow. You're right. Whew. Well, I don't know what this is, but it's in my way. It's got that 50s look about it. Probably military. Probably shouldn't be filming it really. Wow, look, they don't even want people swimming around into it. Getting a go away vibe from this place. Okay, so I have to go up this hill and around the outer perimeter of it, the rusty chain link razor wire there, and around the top and back down the other side and carry on the other side, I think. At which point we'll be able to get some good views of Portland itself, and I'll probably talk a bit about that then. In the meantime, I need to probably stop filming and go around this thing. There's Portland. You can see it a bit closer, get some more context this time. You can see that the thing is basically an immense slab of whatever it's made of, Portland stone, resisting the sea there. The sides have fallen away in scree, but the central plateau can be seen, and it's just a big flat-topped island in a way. That's Castletown or Fortuneswell, or possibly both. It's like the large settlement on the island. This side there's like a retail park at the bottom. There's a couple of other smaller villages scattered around the interior top of the place. Anyway, that's all problems for next time. I think my car is somewhere in there. Or is it a bit nearer? Yeah, this side of the bridge, I think, over the top of the headland. Car park anyway, nearly there. That's good. Yeah, I don't know what that was. Some defence infrastructure organisation thing. Had a big sign on the front. It wasn't secret or anything, but I forgot what it said. Plus, I don't like to point cameras at military bases as a whole. Call it paranoia on my part. Maybe they welcome it. Maybe they'd invite me in for a cup of tea and show me around if I asked. But I think that's more the Michael Portillo version of this trip. Yeah, more clutter on the Chesil Beach. Severn Beach is different. I won't be seeing that for a long time. Yeah, it's all still the same Chesil Beach though, stretching its way along here. It terminates pretty much on Portland, so there's like a causeway bridge connects the two, join up at the end there by that town. Yeah, right. Splendid. This is the stuff, the golden hour. There's the golden hour in the morning. I don't know. It's an artist's term, isn't it? To put this away and keep walking. I really need a drink. But the end is literally in sight now. So yeah, that's good. Well, here's an unexpected problem. Apparently that is the coast path. Picks up at that gate over there, and I can see those people are a bit confused as to the situation as well. And this looks to be very high tide, so well done there. Did it again. So I'm going to have to try and work my way along there, I suppose. Unless I just sort of break into that field and... don't know. Alright, well, challenges and stuff. It's good. Probably. Speak to you on the other side, probably. Hopefully that's not coming in any further. This is Newquay all over again. Okay, so that wasn't quite so bad. That reed bed wasn't quite as treacherously lethal as it looked, but now we got this to contend with. Good, hastily daubed, get off my land. I'm surprised they spelled access right. Coastal path is along the shore. No, it isn't. Look at this. I tell you where it's not. That's just mad. So I'm not waiting for low tide before I proceed because I'm going to run out of daylight. So I may just, I don't know, improvise a bit. Don't watch this, everyone, while I sort this out. I'll talk to you again soon. It's okay. There was another path which I found and used. It was all right. Yeah. Not quite as hairy as crossing the Erne, but that's something to watch out for. That is the coast path along that waterlogged reed bank. I suppose when the tide's out a bit, it's not so bad. But yes, this is tidal, and yes, that is high tide. Okay, so onto the home straight now then, I think. So a quick look around this hedge. Can't be far now. I can see the Chesil Vista Holiday Park caravans on the hill just there, which is essentially the end. Ferry Bridge is just the other side of that. So I think there, more or less. Go, go, go. What am I looking at there? That rows of, are they floating car tyres? What if they're oyster racks? Quite experimental here, I'd imagine. I remember seeing loads of those off the coast, off the shore of Jersey. You can see them on Google Maps as well, from satellite view, street view stuff. It's rows and rows of parallel lines out in the tidal region. Don't know. No idea, no context. Getting quite tired now, if I'm honest. Could use a coffee. What if that cafe next to the car park's still open? Strange clouds. There it is, the Ferry Bridge Inn. Defunct, abandoned, boarded up, but you know, still the milestone I'm looking for. Some smells coming off that crab restaurant there. I'm really not dressed for a restaurant at the moment. There would be complaints. Yeah. Up to that road basically, where those cars are going backwards and forwards. It's been a strangely hard day, which is odd considering the terrain. I think maybe because I just got caught in a weird game of speed hiking with some random other party. They vanished after I let them get on ahead. I don't know if they turned off or just really put the foot down once I wasn't in the way, but didn't see them again, which is okay, you know, it's good. Yeah, it's a lovely part of the world. I really like Chesil Beach and the surrounds. I don't know whether I just got the really fantastic weather or... Yeah, it got rained on a little bit. Interesting things to see, quite mild terrain in terms of like steps and hills and things. I don't know why I'm feeling it so much. Maybe some completely unrelated reason entirely. Who knows? But quite glad it's over. It's only 10 miles today, 11 miles I think today. And this would have been day 3 of my Seaton to Poole Harbour week. It would have been day 3 of week 8. This would have been the entire actual day. Only I'd have had a heavier bag on and would now be panicking about somewhere to camp. But yeah. So basically there we are. So next time is going to be Portland. We're going to start here. And we're going to finish here. And this is going to be essentially what would have been an optional day that I was always planning on doing anyway. But yeah, of course I'm going to do it. Cross that causeway up onto the top of there and then round the whole of the island. Oh dear, say no to the incinerator, huh? There we are, noisy road. Ferrybridge. Stumbling a bit. Excellent. A glorious sunset as well, shaping up to be. I might stick around for half an hour actually once I get back to the car, just watch it. But yes, after Portland, which is basically the entire, go around the end of there and come back again up along here, and it's across that way and onwards to well, Lulworth Cove and things like that, Swanage, and ultimately the end. Maybe 3 or 4 more days now. Exciting. Yeah, that's me done for the day, so see you next time. Magnificent. See you later.